Hey guys, this is Anthony Morganti from anthonymorganti.com, and this is episode 105 of Photo Critiques. Now, I'm sure many of you have heard that I'm no longer accepting images for critique. And if you're interested in why I made that decision, in the description of this video I'll have a link where I wrote a small article explaining why I'm not going to be doing critiques anymore and what I'm going to be doing instead of critiques. Now, if you've already sent me in your images and I accepted them, I will be doing your critique. I have enough images and enough people in queue to do critiques through February. So I'll be doing critiques for a while. I'm just not accepting any new ones. In this episode 105, I'm critiquing the work of Dave Jason Narca. Dave is a Filipino working in Japan, and he sent us some really nice shots. This first one's a really interesting shot of the cat. Of course, the internet is full of cat pictures. I mean, I think some people think that's what the internet was invented for, to put up pictures of cats. So there are a lot of pictures of cats. And I was kind of amused that there's a Facebook page called Cat Street Photography or something like that, where people just submit their images of cats that are out in the street. And this image would definitely qualify for that Facebook page. The expression on the cat is excellent. Just looking at Dave, like, what are you doing taking my picture? How dare you? And it's a very interesting shot. We have these like cement, I don't know, structures. I don't know if this is some type of break wall or something. And the cat, of course, is just sitting there looking at Dave like, get out of here. I like that the cat is off to the side, not bullseyed. Also, where the cat would be looking, of course, the cat is looking right at Dave now, but if the cat was looking sideways, it's looking into the larger part of the frame. You always want that. You don't want the cat like here looking out of the frame. It just doesn't look natural. So that's a nice composition right here. The lines of the cement are interesting. I like that. The only small thing about it, since the cat is the actual subject, there's nothing else in the shot that would be considered the strong subject of the shot. The cat has to be in perfect strong focus, and as I zoom in, the cat's a little soft. Now that may be because Dave sent this to me through email and it got some resolution loss to get it to go through email, so that's possible too. But you always want your what you consider to be the strongest subject in the shot to be in the best focus. It's a great shot, and I like it. There's no lens flare, so I mean maybe a tiny bit right there, but they did a great job of controlling the flare, so it's a really nice shot. We have some unusual things. This is a tripod right here, so obviously this may be a photographer friend of Dave's that's with him taking pictures. For all I know, maybe that's Dave and this is a self-portrait. Put his timer on camera maybe and took this shot. Very unusual bike too, so it's kind of neat. And the bike is right in kind of the line of the sun flare, sunshine coming down this line. So it's kind of a nice shot. It's a nice composition. It's unusual, and it has those elements that make it an interesting shot. This obviously is the photographer again taking a picture, and this is a picture of the photographer taking a picture. So this is kind of a common thing we do if we go out in pairs. Photographers go out in pairs. Always try to get a shot of your friend that's taking shots of them taking a shot, and ask that they do the same of you. They make for interesting shots. Generally speaking, they might be something only a photographer would care about, but they do make interesting shots, and I've seen them all over the internet, and they do sell now and then to certain publications will print them. So it's a very nice shot. The sky's very interesting. We do have this, whatever it is in the water, which kind of breaks up the monotony of the water, so that adds to the the shot too. I would like that to be even more interesting if possible. That would add really to the shot. So if you could find a scene where you had a dock, an old dock, old pier posts or something in the water, that would make it a lot more compelling of an image. Like here's some like really ancient, I think these are old pier posts that are jutting out of the water. It's a very interesting shot. I assume this is Mount Fuji in the background. This is a very nice shot. I like that how you did it in black and white. You have a couple sensor spots in the shot. You really have to take care and go through the shot and make sure that you get rid of any and all sensor spots, because they just show up. And if I'm looking at them in this lower resolution picture on my computer screen, imagine if you got this printed and you wanted as much, resolution as possible in the print. These will show up like a sore thumb. So make sure you get rid of the sensor spots and any dust spots, anything, get rid of them. The composition itself I like the processing, of course. I like this white kind of look here. This was a 10-second exposure at f of 32. Now, typically I don't recommend that you always stop down to f of 32. Usually your lens is at its sharpest 2 to 4 stops up from wide open. So if on this lens your wide open is 2.8, 2 to 4 stops would be around 5.6 to 8.11 in there somewhere. So you'd want to keep your lens aperture in that range somewhere. That will give you the sharpest shot. Now, of course, it doesn't give you the most depth of field, but you don't really need depth of field in this shot. This is kind of a surreal image, so you kind of want this blurriness back here anyway. So with that said, it doesn't matter as much that you shot at f of 32. I would prefer to see you shoot more around f11 though, if possible. The other compositional thing I could say is we'd really like to see the bottom of these. So we'd like to see these in the water. I'm not sure if you could have accomplished that. I'm not familiar with the scene. Maybe there was something in front of here that was ungodly ugly and you didn't want it in the shot. But if possible, you'd like to see where these go in the water. And you can see how there's a slight reflection right there too that adds to the depth of the shot. So if you could get back to this area and do this shot again and get these a little more in the water, I think it would be a stronger image too. As it is though, it is a very, very strong image. Don't get me wrong, very nice. I like this shot a lot too. I talk all the time. People disagree with me a lot about having people in the shots. If you have a person in the shot, it usually adds to the shot. Usually. Not all the time, all right? Not all the time, but it does at times add to the shot. And what I would suggest you do if you're out with a friend, like I go shooting a lot, one of my sons is with me or my wife is with me. What I would do is I would take a shot like this without anyone in it. Then I would ask them to walk as you did, this young lady walking down the path. And then take a shot. In this particular instance, and I hope you did this, Dave, take a shot here. And as she walks a little further away, take another shot, take another shot. Take, 5, 6, 7, 10 shots as she's walking down the path. And you could see which one you like the best of her walking away from you down this leading line, going away off into the distance. So it's a very, very nice composition. And as I mentioned, it's not, I know a lot of people disagree with me about having people in the shots, in landscape shots. And I'm not saying that every landscape shot needs a person. Let me just clarify that. Take a landscape shot without a person. Take several, take 100. But every now and then, if you're at the scene and you have someone available that could be in the shot, put the person in the shot and put them in a creative way, as Dave did here along this leading line. Or, don't just put them standing there looking at you, waving or anything. Something, be creative and have the person in the scene. And I think many times you'll find it will add to the shot and give your photography another dimension that's not often talked about. This is really a cool shot. We do these shots all the time, especially in the United States around Christmas time. There's lights everywhere, and we can do all these kind of shots like this. This was 1 second exposure at f of 4, and that's the key. You want a wide open aperture, as wide open as possible, and you want to focus on something in the foreground. You want that in strong focus, and you want everything, all the lights, all the pointed light pointed light sources that are behind it will go really out of focus and give you this diaphragm look. That's your actual diaphragm of your lens, and it's a really cool shot. So it's a nice composition, and it's very well done, Dave, very well done. And I think that's it. Yep, that's it for Dave Jason Narca. I'd like to thank you, Dave, for sharing your photography with us. Suggestions I could make on that one landscape is to make sure that you, when you have stuff that are at the bottom of the frame, if possible, get, in this case, let me go back to it, there it is to get these bottoms in. I think is the only real strong suggestion I would make. About all your images. The cat image, I would like to see that one better focused. And I like that you have people in some of your landscape shots. That's very well done. Very nice, Dave. Thank you very much again. I'd like to thank everyone who watches all my videos. I really do appreciate it. And if you guys haven't already, go over to my website, anthonymorganti.com. I got all kinds of photography stuff over there. And if you haven't already, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's it for now. I'll talk to you guys soon.